Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So you may notice that I don't have a notebook in front of me right now, and that is because I'm doing a video about all of my favorite bullet journaling tools and everything. So I'm just going to show you everything that I use to bullet journal basically, and this is the kind of thing that totally varies between individuals. You could have a lot of accessories to help you bullet journal, or you could just have a literal notebook and a pen and you could bullet journal. It's totally up to you what you decide to use when you're bullet journaling. When I first started bullet journaling, I really wasn't sure what to use in terms of like pens and what kind of pens would work best on my notebook paper, and some pens can be quite expensive, so I didn't really want to put down a lot of money in case, it just didn't work out. I didn't actually end up doing a lot of research before I started bullet journaling on like pens and stuff to buy. I knew that people used the Staedtler pens and the Stabilo pens, but that was kind of about it. So if you're new to bullet journaling, hopefully this will give you some ideas of what you can maybe purchase to start your bullet journal journey. And if you've been bullet journaling for a while, you might just find this interesting, because I know I certainly like to find out what other people enjoy using. So without further ado, let's just get started. I'm going to start with notebook. Now, as you guys all know, if you've been watching my videos for a wee while, I am a Leuchtturm notebook gal. These are the only notebooks I've used for bullet journaling. I haven't tried any others, so I can't comment on whether or not Moleskines are good. Rhodia, I have no idea. I've used Moleskines in the past for regular journaling. I've also used their planners and stuff as well, which I enjoyed using, and the pages were nice. But for me, the Leuchtturm is the one that I love. This is the A5 size, so it's often listed as medium, and it's in pink, obviously. I also have a yellow one. Just if you are completely new to bullet journaling and you have no idea about Leuchtturm notebooks, I just want to give you a quick little tour of what they really are. So it's a hardcover. It doesn't bend easily. I brought a pen loop for this. As you can see here, there's a little pen loop. You can put your pen down in here. These are not necessary. I don't think that you absolutely need one, and to be honest, the thickness of the pen loop sticky part is a little bit annoying, and I would imagine that it will not thrill me that much when I come to the end of the book and have to try and write over a lumpy bit. In the back there's also a pocket. So you can see here, there's a little pocket. The notebook also comes with a bunch of little stickers that you can put on the front of the book, as you can see here, and also on the spine, as you can see here. I don't really tend to keep anything in the back of this pocket. I think I have a receipt, but otherwise it's just pretty much empty. So the front cover has space for you to write your details, your name and address or whatever if you want. I'll talk to you about this later, so don't worry about that. The pages are an off-white color, so they're not stark white. They're kind of almost a very, very pale yellow, and it's a dot grid. So the grid on here is not solid lines, which makes, I think, for a bit more of a versatile page, because if you want to rule in solid lines you can, and that's really easy. But say if you had two solid lines going across here in a row, between that there aren't going to be lines cutting into that row, so it's just like having two lines on a normal page, if that makes sense. So that's one of the things that I really like about these pages. The paper is also a decent thickness. I think it is 80 GM. Another thing to note is that there is this little elastic, so if you want to keep everything together, it comes with that, so that's really helpful. And there is also two little bookmark ribbons, which are very useful. I put the stripy one for my monthly spreads, and I use a solid color on my weekly. So I think that's pretty much all you need to know about this particular kind of notebook. Obviously, you don't have to use Leuchtturm if you found something better, or you don't want to spend this kind of money initially, so that's fine. I'm going to move on to probably my favorite topic now, and it's pens. I love pens so much. I'm just going to run you through some of my absolute favorites. Before I get started on showing you my pens, I just want to show you my pen samples page in my bullet journal. One really good way of testing out pens is to write the name of what the pen is and the thickness, and then just do some little doodles or something, and that gives you a really good idea of the different pens. Please excuse this page. It was a fail. So the first pen I want to show you is the Unipen Fine Lines. That's this one here, and it is in 0.5 size. So it's quite a thick pen, but it's my preferred pen for doing my ruled lines and everything. I love the size of it. It's thick, and I don't know, for the moment, for now, I'm just really, really digging this particular pen. The next pens I want to show you are these Staedtler pigment liners, and this is a pack of different sizes. So these are all written down here. So there's 0.05, which is really, really fine. 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.5, so that's the same size as this one up here, and a 0.8. These are fantastic pens. They go on really nicely and they don't really show through on the other side at all. Just to kind of give you a little bit of an idea. I mean, you can't really tell very well if anything's coming through because I've got writing on this side. So I would actually recommend, if you want to do a pen samples page, to leave the other side of the page blank, so then you can really kind of tell what your pens are doing, whether or not there's any bleed through and stuff. I highly recommend Staedtler pens. They're really nice. These ones are fantastic and I love them very much. Another pen that I really like is this Pilot G-Tech C in 0.4. I think this could be a gel pen, but I'm not 100% sure actually. It's quite fine. And it's the pen that I used when I first started my bullet journal, and I love it a lot. I don't use it as much now because it does tend to smudge a little bit if you don't let it dry properly. So sometimes if you're ruling lines with this one, it will smudge and stuff, which is kind of annoying. Getting into different colored pens now, I really like the Stabilo fine liners. These are the 0.88. They come in a lot of different colors, which is fantastic if you want to add different pops of color to your pages. So yeah, they're great for that, and I really like them. They don't seem to bleed through either, which is fantastic. I've only got 2 of these because they are a more expensive fine liner. I think a pack can run up to like 30 New Zealand dollars, if not more. Other fine liners that I like are the Staedtler ones. These are the Tri Plus fine liner. These are really good as well. They don't tend to bleed very much. You can see on the other side of the page that you've written or drawn something in this. You can kind of see that it's a color, but it doesn't bleed through. It's just kind of what I like to call a shadow. Much like you can see on this page here that there's a line ruled there and there's some writing there. But unlike down here, where there's a little bit of bleed through, up here there's no bleed through. It's just what I like to call a shadow. So yeah, the Staedtler Tri Plus fine liners come in a lot of different colors. They're a little bit cheaper to buy than the Stabilo ones. More fine liners now. These are the Whitcoulls brand fine liners. These are pretty cheap. They're usually about $10 for a pack of 12. So yeah, and this little pack here comes with all of these different colors. I actually used the black one for a long time as my main like liner pen, and it pretty much has run out now, which is why I ended up replacing it with the uni pen one. I really like these. They do tend to bleed through a little bit more than the other fine liner pens I've just showed you. So I think maybe because they are a little bit cheaper, there's something to do with the ink, maybe something to do with the nib and how much it flows out. Just be a little bit wary if you do get these ones that bleed through may happen. It didn't happen for me with the black pen, but the dark blue, for example, it did happen. This little selection here is the Pentel Sleacy or Sleechy or Slicky. I'm not really sure. These are a 0.7 sized gel pen. It looks sort of metallic-y on the outside, but they're not actually metallic when you write with them, just so that you know in case you were thinking that they might be. These are pretty good. They don't really tend to bleed through, and they're nice and fine as well. So if you wanted to add some fine detail, you could. I don't use these a lot anymore, but I did use them quite a bit when I first started my bullet journal. I also have another couple of gel pens here. One is silver and one is white. I find these really useful if I need to add a little bit of light detail on some sort of dark background. So these I think are the Pentel brand again. Yes, it's Pentel company, and they're called the Hybrid Gel Grip pens. Okay, moving on to markers now. I don't actually tend to use markers very much in my bullet journal. Most of the ones that I have are not that great. They bleed through and everything, so I'm just not going to risk that by using them. I have, however, recently found this marker, and it is a Zig Art and Graphic Twin. I think it is from this company called Kuretake, and it is Japanese. One end has a brush type of tip, so it's flexible. I don't know if you can see that it moves. It's not made of separate hairs, it's just kind of like a flexible rubber or something maybe, I'm not sure. The other end is like a regular marker tip. So it has this. I really like to use the flexible end for drawing a straight line across and then writing over that. The beauty of this particular brand is that they have a lot of beautiful colours. So while they are expensive to buy, individually they are about $6 New Zealand dollars, I think, but the colours are lovely and the ink is beautiful. So I would highly recommend these if you are looking for a marker pen to use in your bullet journal. Another important thing for me is pencils. I use pencils to rule in my lines and everything before I start going over them properly in my bullet journal. That way, if I make a mistake or if I want to change something, it's really easy to do and I'm not wasting pages or anything. I use mechanical pencils and I use these two here. This blue one is a Pentel one, and I also use this one from my childhood. I got this when I was probably about 8. Basically, what I like to use is a graphite that is a 2B or a 3B because I find it a little bit softer. It doesn't tend to leave a mark on the page, like an imprint kind of thing that looks like a scratch after you rub the pencil out that harder types of graphite can sometimes do. Of course, along with pencils, you have to have a decent eraser. Mine broke. It used to have this blue thing on the end that I never could quite work out what it was for. This is a good one. It takes pretty much all pencil off, and it also takes off some coloured pencils, at least to some degree anyway. So now I'm going to move on to general tools and stuff. So probably one of the first things you'll want to pick up if you don't already have one is rulers. Now, I have 3 rulers just because before I started bullet journaling, I had 3 rulers, so I use all 3 rulers. This is a 40 centimeter one. That's what I use for doing my long lines, so if I need to go across an entire spread or if I need to rule a line vertically. Otherwise, I typically tend to use this 15 centimeter / 6-inch ruler. I really like this. It's a Lion King one that I won from a competition when I was like 10, so same as this one. It's a metal one, but it is again 6 inches or about 15 centimeters. And I just use these for doing smaller lines and stuff. I highly recommend you get a ruler if you don't already have one. If you are going to be using pencils that require sharpening, so be it a graphite pencil or a colored pencil, definitely get a decent pencil sharpener if you don't already have one. I have one that came with my colored pencil, so I'll show you that when I show you my colored pencils. I also recommend that you pick up some correction tape. This is just, you know, a regular correction tape. This is a refillable one as well, so you can just put a new cartridge in when you run out. Another thing that you can get if you want is washi tape. This is probably going to roll everywhere, so let's just try and do this, shall we? So then you can see the designs without it rolling everywhere. Okay, so I have a selection of washi tape that I used to use when I was using my Erin Condren Life Planner. I still use them in that every now and then, and just for other general craft projects and stuff. A lot of people I've seen use their washi tape to decorate their bullet journal pages, and that's great. I don't personally use it for that. I just use it as a kind of a little hack, which I will show you now. So on my notebook, you can probably see that there are pages with washi tape on the sides here. So there's different kinds of washi tape for different things. There's some pink here and a little bit of orange and stuff. So the reason I use this is to mark certain pages that fit within a particular category so that I can easily flip to them. So I have a list of categories here with the corresponding washi tape next to it. So for example, lists relating to my video and video production are in this hot pink. My analytics are this light pink with dots. I've got header ideas in this blue starred one, all of that kind of thing. Each has its own type of washi tape, and therefore I can just easily flip to when I want to find that particular page. So that's what I use my washi tape for. Now I'm going to move on to colored pencils. So these are my favorite colored pencils. These are Faber-Castell ones, and this pack is the 36 classic color, and there's also a sharpener inside, which I will talk to you about in a minute because I really like it. So this just pulls out like this. Here's the sharpener. It's actually a really good one, and I pretty much use this exclusively now because it's better than the other sharpener I had. And this has a little tray that kind of pops out here, so you can see all the different colors. So there's a lot of different colors in here. I have used Staedtler colored pencils, but I don't love them. I find that the color doesn't really tend to have a lot of pigment. The last thing I wanted to talk to you about is Post-it notes. Occasionally I will write little notes on Post-its and put them in my bullet journal. It could be something about what I want to use a particular page for or a section. It also could be stuff that's like extra information in my future log or something if it doesn't fit, or just like lists and stuff that I'm kind of working on or that I want to shift to another week without having to write out the list again. Okay, so that is it. That's what I use to bullet journal. Initially, before I did this video, I thought, oh, it's not actually that much, but after doing this video, I realized it is actually that much. It's quite a lot of stuff, and as I said at the beginning, you absolutely do not need to have all of this. I would say that the very basics you need are any kind of notebook and a pen. That's literally it. Or a pencil if you would prefer to use pencil. Maybe after that, a ruler and some correction tape. And then if you want to get into things like decorating it a little bit, adding color, adding doodles and stuff, then you can think about buying colored fine liner pens and colored pencils and all of that other stuff. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it at least a little bit helpful. Please give it a like if you did. If you have any questions about tools or just anything relating to starting a bullet journal and stuff, then please just leave a comment down below because I will love to talk to you about that and I will definitely reply. So thank you so much for watching and I will see you again really soon. Bye.